U.S. debt is ticking up. In fact, every second, national debt increases by thousands of dollars.
If you stacked up the full debt of the United States in $100 bills, you could make not one, not two, but 13 piles of cash as tall as the Washington Monument.
U.S. Director of National Intelligence Dan Coats called the growing debt a dire threat to our economic and national security.
Surpassing $30 trillion and continuing to climb, the national debt casts a shadow over the economic prospects of the United States. The expanding debt of the nation is an outcome of decisions reached by members of both the Republican and Democratic parties. Starting from the year 2000, representatives from these parties have consistently resorted to borrowing funds for funding wars, augmenting federal expenditures, and implementing emergency measures aimed to weather two severe recessions. The largest contributors to the mounting debt, often with support from both sides of the political spectrum, have been the federal reactions to two significant economic slumps, the 2008 financial crisis and the recession sparked by the 2020 pandemic. In the early stages of his tenure, soon after assuming office in 2009 amidst an inherited recession, President Obama urged Congress to sanction an approximately $800 billion combination of tax reductions and stimulus disbursements. Following the global outbreak of COVID in 2020, President Trump authorized an even more substantial series of aid bundles, accumulating to over $3 trillion. The following year, upon assuming office, President Biden promptly endorsed a $1.9 trillion stimulus package. Over an extended period, the U.S. government consistently incurred expenditures that exceeded the revenue it generated to cover them. In terms of monetary value, the U.S. national debt holds the distinction of being the largest on a global scale. However, it's important to note that the U.S. also boasts of the world's largest economy. Therefore, how substantial is our debt in relation to the economy it strives to support? In the year 2000, this was comparatively straightforward. The debt amounted to 36% of the total output generated by the U.S. economy in that year. However, it surged dramatically, resulting in the United States now grappling with a national debt that accounts for 98% of this year's projected production. Furthermore, even more concerning is the projection that if no alterations occur, the debt will escalate to nearly twice the magnitude of the entire economic output over the next 30 years. This could pose an immense and potentially insurmountable burden on the U.S. economy. Put simply, the expanding national debt has a detrimental impact on both economic growth and the range of opportunities accessible to every individual in America.
If we don't get the spending under control, we're going to be looking at higher interest rates. That's going to hurt our housing market because mortgage rates will go up. It's going to hurt consumer finances and small businesses as they try to borrow.
The interest expenses amounted to $471 billion in the year 2022 and are anticipated to escalate to $1.4 trillion by 2033. By the end of 2023, our expenditure on net interest costs will surpass what we allocate for Medicaid and income security programs combined.
2053, when little kids today are in their 30s, the interest costs on the national debt will be the largest expenditure the federal government has. And 50%, half of the taxes that these guys pay will go to those interest costs.
Increased interest expenses might displace crucial public investments, encompassing priority domains such as education, national security, and infrastructure. A country burdened by debt will find itself with diminished resources to dedicate to its own future advancements. It's obvious that U.S. is on unsustainable and dangerous the fiscal path, threatening the future that we all want for our nation and our children. Despite clear warnings, policymakers have failed to show leadership, unwilling to make responsible, forward-looking decisions to do right by the next generation.